Pro Boxing Fans here with Johnny Nelson. Johnny, fight week, Adam Azim. You're looking like, man, I don't know how to describe this look that you've got going on right now.
Like a badass. What you were trying to find. What the words you were trying to find. Look like a badass. Say it, I don't mind.
Johnny, listen, I don't think that was the word, but anyway, Adam Azim. Last time I spoke to you after his last fight, you said they're going to have to start paying a lot more money for good opposition. At this present time, Santos Reyes, we've seen bits of him. He is what he is. But you expect Adam to do the thing on Saturday night and push forward for a European title that he's targeting for the summer.
So Santos Reyes is the first unbeaten opponent Adam has boxed. Reyes doesn't know what it's like to lose as a professional fighter. So now, at least on paper, they're having to back up the ball. So they're having to say, right, you know what, we've got to give this kid a challenge. So this should again be another yardstick for us. I'll stick by what I said. I think Adam, as long as he keeps his feet on the ground, carries on going in the direction he's been going, I think this young man could be European champion without a doubt. I don't even doubt that. Give him the opportunity and put it off. The only thing he's lacking is professional experience, but he makes up for that in ability. He makes up for that in punch power. He makes up for that in natural talent, and that's what he's showing. That's why he's making jobs what seem on paper to be hard pretty easy, and I think he does it again Saturday night. I think Reyes is he's 13 unbeaten. I think Adam does it again. I think his professionalism, power, speed, youth is just too much for him.
How would you create his path to forget the European, because he looks like he wants that in the summer, but pushing towards world, because Ben's got a bit of a job here to push Adam at the right time, make sure he's getting the right opponents at the right time. How would you do it?
This is it now. So he's had a few pushovers, and there's been the backlash from the public saying no, that's not right, and he's stiff opposition. Now this is a step towards that. Now you can't go back. You can't get in there with an unbeaten fight, 13 fights, and then his next fight is fighting someone that's not won 2 out of 50. So now it's that progression. So it's the promoter's the one that's going to take the pressure in the development of the fighter. The fighter just has to fight whoever's put in front of him. Ben's job is now to get fighters that are going to develop him in one way or another. So mentally now, he knows he's in with somebody that there's no one he can make an excuse about. He can't say this guy's never won. He can't say this guy's used to losing. He's in with somebody that is used to winning. So if he's in with someone that's used to winning, that's a different capacity your brain's got to take on. So for Adam, again, it's not just about learning to get in there and knock somebody out. It's about learning to motivate yourself. So I think matchmaking spot on.
Cool. I do want to talk about the return of Lawrence Okolie to Sky Sports. Finally been announced for March 25th in Manchester. How good is it to have Lawrence back on as a world champion this time around, with potential huge fights this year for him?
I think it's my old division. I think Chris Billen-Smith, Lawrence Okolie, Richard Riakporhe. There's a depth of domestic world champions where you could get a unification. The fighters want to come here. Cruiserweights from around there want to come here to the UK to fight because they know there's an appetite, they know there's interest here. That's important. For Lawrence Okolie to do that, it makes it a more realistic opportunity for him and Riakporhe to get together. And again, about unifying titles, I think Lawrence has proven he's a world champion. The others aren't world champions. So Lawrence has proven he's the guy you got to chase. He and Richard, I'm quite sure they've spoken many times, and I think it's a realistic chance of those two fighting each other. So with him making that move, Lawrence Okolie's done a move that's what's best for his career. Now he's got over all the wranglings and legals with DAZN and Eddie or Matchroom, whoever it is. Now he can get on with his career, which is important.
Fair enough. I quickly want to move away and talk about Anthony Joshua. I was at the press conference yesterday. Did you watch the press conference first of all? Did you have time to see bits of it?
I didn't see all of it, but I got reports from Spencer and Co about the press conference, and I think I'm gathering AJ's come walking in there and he's basically thinking, right, what he's saying, what he's doing, he actually don't care what you or I have got to say about him, and that's probably been his biggest problem up to date. So now he just thinks, I just want to fight.
He's very serious. I've never seen it because
But you know what? Up to this point, it's been PC to everybody else, and he's got so much slagging to this point now he's thinking, what am I doing this for when everybody else can be who they are and it's cool by them. So now he's just being himself, and I'm quite sure, you know, the boys that know him off camera thinking, there he is. There's AJ, that's our boy. And so now he's got to go in there with the right attitude, because he's used to losing, he's used to, now he's had to see what it's like when you get backlash from people that are all over you initially.
Jermaine Franklin, what do you make of him as an opponent for Anthony Joshua in this stage of his career?
Capable, confident, he knows AJ is beatable, whereas before AJ you looked and thought, how am I going to beat this guy? He's lost to shorter guys, he's lost to lighter guys, so Franklin knows it can be done. He's got to have fast hands and decent, crafty movement when getting in there with AJ. Obviously being a short, smaller guy, he's got to try and get in on the inside to let the combinations off. So there's confidence from saying, I'm picking up AJ off the back of 2 losses. So what's this guy's heart like? What's this guy's desire like? So for Franklin, he'll know that, and I think I've got to put him under some kind of pressure, because if he works on a negative, he's just going to build up AJ's confidence. So again, it's a good way for Franklin to gate crash that world scene, but also it's a way for us to assess what AJ's appetite is like still for fighting.
Dillian Whyte's not happy about the whole situation. He did an interview saying, listen, if that's the case, I should have lost to Franklin and then got the fight with AJ now, because, you know, if Franklin can get it whilst he's losing, why can't I get it?
You know, and that's unfortunate for Dillian. That's his career, isn't it? You know, he's waited for a world title shot, then maybe past the the peak time of opportunities for getting it. He gets in there with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury does his job and proves I'm the best of the best. He's always wanted to fight with AJ all over again. It's never happened for him. I feel for Dillian, but you know what? He's just that fighter, win or lose, is in the who needs him club, and it doesn't suit the agenda right now. They're saying potentially it could be AJ's next fight if he wins, but we've heard that many times before. So let's just wait and see.
You know, AJ is a fighter. He'd probably want to fight everyone. Unfortunately, there's people in places which navigate your path. We spoke to him yesterday, asked him a question about Wilder, who called him out before the Helenius fight. He goes, it's going to happen, man. That fight is going to happen. Talk to me about AJ Wilder now.
If I tell you, if anything, I think AJ is what I'm hearing, the way he's answering about, yo, yeah, it's ready. The way he's answering, yeah, it's ready. Yeah, the way he's answering the questions for people, basically saying what he's saying, like, I'm boxing for the money, I don't care. He's telling you whatever you want to hear. He actually doesn't care what you think. That's the problem. Yeah, man. He actually don't care what you think. That's the problem. And so you're, oh my God, AJ said this, said that. He don't care if you run off with it. He's doing it on purpose. And I just smiled. I thought, you know what? You've lost his. He no longer is intimidated by what you guys can and can't say about him, what we guys can and can't say about him, and that's the maturity that's needed by a lot of fighters.
Before I let you go, because I know your food's ready somewhere, Tony Bellew, your former Sky colleague, somebody who works for DAZN now, spoke about the Fury Usyk fight, and he's saying now that he believes Usyk's going to beat him because he's quicker feet. Before he thought Fury would just outbox him. How do you see that one?
You know what, Tony's probably most qualified than all of us to make a comment on that. I personally think it's the other way around. I think Fury is going to be too big, too strong, and too unorthodox for Usyk. And Usyk's style, Fury's style, looks brilliant against orthodox fighters. And but against unorthodox fighters, that's where you'll see the cream rise to the top.
Cool, Johnny, I'm going to let you go and eat. I know your food's ready. Thank you very much for talking to Pro Box Fans.